there's a small story of one night. I said to my brother, I said, I'm not going to boxing tonight. Can't be bothered with it. And if he would have said, yeah, I'll give it a miss as well. If he would have said he would give it a miss that night, there's a good chance of me that I'd probably never box again, because I only went to the gym that night because I let my younger brother go there on his own, and I felt sorry and sad that I'd let him go by himself. So 5 minutes after he'd gone out the door, I grabbed my bag and chased him down the street and caught up with him. But if he wouldn't have gone that night, then there's a good chance I may have never gone back to the boxing gym.
That's mad. It's mad to think of it that way.
It's mad to think that, like, one decision can take you down a different path, completely different path in life than what you would have gone on if you'd have just by making one decision.
One of your passion projects, I'd imagine, for the last couple of years or coming up to 2 years has been House of Rugby. Did you ever anticipate that almost 2 years later you'd be pulling in the volume of viewers and listeners that you are?
So it's really funny you asked that question, and it's really pertinent timing as well, because we have literally about 2.5 hours ago released our latest podcast, which is with a guy called Sam Burgess, and I've had 10 journalists on the phone to me this afternoon. It's blown up. It's all over the Telegraph. It's all over the Times. I think this is. I mean, he absolutely goes to town on his union career. It's seismic. I'm literally living this story breaking and the whole thing kicking off. There aren't many other people out there doing what we're doing, but this Burgess story has absolutely exploded. It's the story that everybody in rugby has been waiting for 5 years. And honestly, between you and I, it came about because he got drunk last week and rang Haas. Haas picked up. They had a conversation which Sam can't even remember. And Haas said, "Oh, do you want to come on the pod and have a chat with Alex tonight?" And Sam was like, "Yeah, let's do it." So we rang up, got him on the phone yesterday on Skype, recorded. We chatted for 3 hours, and literally this story is he dishes the dirt on his story of 2015, and that is quite unique. It's actually really made me think about journalism today, and there are 100 rugby journalists out there who have, and I know this for a fact, have tried to get Sam to tell the story. Why has he come to Haskell and yours truly to tell it? It's because there's a relationship there, and that is I think the biggest change in broadcasting is that when I joined Sky told you how it was. They broadcasted at you. They said, "This is what we're talking about. This is why we're talking about it," etc., etc. And it was a conversation where the audience listened and Sky spoke. What's happened with the advent of social media is that it's now a dialogue. Sky speak, and the audience wants to reply. They've got a platform where they can rebut, or they can challenge, or they can agree, or whatever it is. And that is, I think, where broadcasting is going, is you now have to include or make your content feel like you're in a conversation, not a lecture. And I hope that's how people perceive House of Rugby, is that it honestly just feels like you're eavesdropping on three mates having a chat. And we're not afraid to get stuck into some fairly meaty subjects and to challenge the people that come on, but it's always meant to be done in quite a fair way. Everyone gets the right to reply. But it's a chat, and it's a chat, not an interview, and there's definitely a difference in that, I think.
Now, somebody that kept you grounded all along the way and had complete and total belief in your ability and had a monumental role in your upbringing as well was, of course, your dad. Just how important was he in helping you achieve your goals?
He was the one that always said I would be an Olympic champion from like a year into boxing, something like that. And then I just look at him and say, "Shut up, Dad." He always said I was going to be Olympic champion. Beijing came around, and I didn't get picked for the qualifiers, and then someone else qualified in my weight, so I couldn't go to that Olympics. And then I turned around to my dad and said, "Told you I'm not going to be Olympic champion." But he always believed I was going to be Olympic champion. Always believed I was. And then obviously after Beijing we got London Olympics, and full steam ahead to go for that, really. And then obviously I did it, didn't I? I did it.
You did. On home soil as well. What better? I mean, it almost was meant to be.
There isn't a better Olympics I could have ever got a medal at than London. Like, getting a medal at Olympics is amazing. Getting a medal at the Olympics in your own country is another level.
And gold as well. So
and gold, don't forget that.
I hadn't really spoken too much to anyone about what it was I wanted to do, but when the opportunity presented itself, I said, you know, actually, I am interested in giving it a crack, seeing what happens. And the executive producer, whose name was Martin Turner, and just the most amazing guy, real visionary in television. He took it away. He didn't do anything at all. Nothing came of it. Other people had their shots, and I was sort of waiting to see what would happen. And then one night he rang me on a Friday, and he said, "We haven't got a reporter for the Army-Navy game at Twickenham tomorrow." He said, "You're doing it." And I was like, right. And at that stage, I'd done not a minute of training. I'd never acted. I'd never spoken in public. I'd done any debating. You know, I had done absolutely no broadcasting, public speaking at all. I didn't sleep very well that night. I got up, I was at Twickenham, you know, before the dawn had broken. And it was literally post-match interviews. So there are 3 questions. It's a minute and a half all in, and I probably did 4 or 5 of them. And I can only describe the experience of going live on television with a microphone as almost like sort of putting your toes over the edge of a cliff. And just, it's that knowledge that if I get this wrong, or I swear, or, you know, I just completely and utterly balls this up, that's it. That's everything I've wanted gone. And it is quite a weird sensation to feel that. Anyway, I didn't do it very well, but I didn't manage to swear, which in itself was an achievement. And he took it, I think he was quite harsh actually in his criticism. I was exhilarated that I'd done it. I got out, you know, I'd managed to get out alive. But he was quite a hard taskmaster, and he just said, "Cool, okay, well, we'll keep going with this and see what happens." And I went from making the tee to reporting on Lions Tour in New Zealand in about 6 months, which is pretty quick. And I definitely wouldn't do it that quickly again. But you got to learn pretty fast, and off you go. That was it.
What was that moment like for you, picking up the gold medal in London? And, you know, looking back at it now, was that just the most incredible time of your life?
Oh, it was unbelievable. It really was. It was a dream come true. Something that I'd worked for from being a young kid, and I worked so hard for it, dedicated myself, disciplined, sacrificed a hell of a lot, all for that. And it was certainly worth it. And, you know, there was times leading up to the Olympics where, again, I could have finished boxing altogether, but I didn't want to give up until I knew I'd give it my best shot. And if I give it my best shot, I can live with myself.